Hey there, and welcome to the 15th and final qualifier for Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Highway to the Zemus Zone 4. There were over 130 runners who signed up for this. Only the top 64 advanced. This is their last chance to do so. The top 16 get to set the bracket. And this is going to be a really exciting one. I am Sheep Launcher. I'm here with Cubs Rule 21 in the booth. And Cubs, this is the last chance for our runners to really solidify their place in the bracket stage.
Yeah, final chance. Excuse me. Everyone at this point still playing is either locked into the bracket, or has their 4 races, or is trying to get their 4th in at the last moment. So we should have some sort of an idea after the bracket, after this race, if not later on this evening or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we won't have the official results in this broadcast, but our runners here are Harumph in the top left, Pyre, Klopfer, and Mike34. All of those 4 seem to be safely ensconced in the top 64, that you never know what could happen, so now's not the time to be lollygagging, but Pyre in particular, sitting right on the edge of the top 16, he is going to want to get into that top 16 because they get to choose their opponents for the next round of the bracket stage, and you might see some aggressive plays out of our runners here.
Yeah, some very interesting objectives tonight. In addition to the 3 we usually have, we need a package to burn the village of Mist, and we just need to get underground to take out the top of the tower. Could both be very quick objectives, potentially.
Potentially, once you get the package, burning the village mist just takes some time. And yeah, defeating the boss of Lower Babel, that's the Dr. Luge spot, if you're not familiar. A lot of HP up there for that point in the game, but not a lot of attack power. So our runners will look to attack that as soon as they get underground access, however that comes.
I have to say, I'm very much enjoying Mike's naming scheme over here. Specifically, the Tella being named No, Tella, please. Please, no Tella.
Well, you never know when a Tella might show up, but...
yes.
But we start with a Rosa, and Rosa is an interesting start, a very good character to have around and to keep gaining experience. Her agility can get tricky, especially for the Z fight. She needs to get all the way up to level 60 in order to get to 28 relative agility, but until then, Rosa is a great person to have in your party all the way through the game.
Yeah, kind of looking for a ninja hat or a crystal ring just to make it a little bit easier to get to that 28. I don't think you're likely to try and want to curse Rosa. Especially as your main healer, you want to keep her as strong as possible. So any kind of agility boosting gear would be quite useful here.
But we are glad you're with us. We're underway. We want to thank our restreamer Solaris and our tracker Antidale. Before we forget, a Lunar Sparkle hands us the Magma Key to start.
So about that, about those objectives, yeah.
So objective 5 is theoretically possible right now, but a Rosa and an Edward just by themselves can't really take on the top of that tower just yet.
Yeah, I think the objective here early, I mean, beyond just the usual go to Watery Pass or go to Castle Evelyn to look for gear, I think you really want to hit a couple characters. Unless you find a Dancing Dagger, Edward is just... he's okay early, but he drops off very quickly. So, kind of looking for someone to probably replace Edward here in the near future. But the immediate diversions, we've got Pyre and Klopfer both heading straight underground, while Harumph is heading toward Watery Pass.
Yeah, and right away Harumph finds a bandana in that Watery Pass. Nice little piece of gear. If a Young ever shows up.
Well, it'll be helpful for Rosa early, too. She is your damage source at the moment, so anything you can get to pile some strength on her is quite handy.
Yeah, everybody knows what she can do with a heroine robe, and with a good set of bow and arrows, and a bandana helps with that as well.
There is a cursed ring in Watery Pass for Harumph. That could be very useful, especially if he heads underground here after this. But he also picked up a Dwarf Axe. So that's back rowable for any Kane or Sid or Cecil we come across.
Very nice to see. The other 3 runners, meanwhile, have dropped their key down the well, and Pyre heading straight for that key item. Maybe we'll do some looting in the Land of 7 Monsters as well.
Well, the save outside, I think is usually a good indicator you're expecting to hit that trap chest.
Yeah, there's 1 trap chest on the way down. It has 5 warriors, and it's a nice trap chest to hit later, but this party can't handle it right now.
That cursed ring actually may come in very handy for Harumph later if he decides to go after some of these underground traps here or in Sylph, to be able to bring Rose's agility down. And if you can come up with a Palom and get it into Quake, an RA1 Palom is always pretty quick against these trap chests. Well,
one of the chests down here contained a Summon Drop for that Tella that we may or may not want to see.
Not seeing anything. The Lilith Rod is nice, but nothing game-breaking just yet. Certainly a bunch of okay stuff right now.
Yeah, nothing too outstanding. Some nice gear, some good money, but everybody in the Feymarch, there's an Aegis Shield and Mute Knife. Everybody in the Feymarch right now just trying to keep up with the Joneses. And there's a Darkness Crystal.
Well, excuse me, okay.
Yeah. So, the entire universe now open.
Yeah,
so,
Solaris, you got somewhere to be tonight, man? What? So I heard you wanted 95% of the world open to you. Have fun.
Ooh, there's a tiara in the back of Feymarch. Mike found it for sure.
And samurai arrows in the weapon shop in the Feymarch. That's an incredibly good find for Rosa early.
Very nice indeed.
Yeah, a restreamer bring up chat. Yeah, I would call this a panic start. Yes, you have Rosa, who is very useful once you find her, a bow and arrow, and a bard, and the whole bloody world available to you.
Yes.
Where do you go?
I mean, if you're a runner that thrives on structure, on knowing where to go and what to do next, and just being able to execute, this is not your seed. You need to be able to think on your feet.
Can I say I'm glad I'm in the booth for this one? Not There's another tiara and an ogre axe for Pyre. There was also an earth hammer picked up in Feymarch as well, so there's quite a bit of decent loot there.
And there's a free character just waiting on the moon for our runners, so we'll see who will be able to take advantage of those, because a Sid here would be very nice to pick up.
Yeah, Sid or Kane would be excellent at the moment. Even a Cecil looking down the road toward after Ordeals would be helpful. I caught Environmentalist there from the drop board. I didn't see what else it said.
Yeah, I think it said Environmental Technician, but maybe somebody in chat could help us out there.
Speaking of bows, there's a samurai bow for Rosa, so all of a sudden Warrior Rosa is pretty much online.
Yes, with that tiara found in the Feymarch, with samurai bows and samurai arrows for sale underground, you can make Rosa into a death machine, and she can carry you for a long, long time.
Well, Pyre went and picked up 2 samurai bows. Presumably he's going to put one on I think he only picked up 1 stack of samurai arrows, though. So I'm not sure exactly what he's going to put on Edward.
Well, we'll see if they'll split them. The bosses in the Land of Summon Monsters, by the way. Some flavor of Mylon and Golbez. Golbez is a really nice one to see down there. We don't ever have to see him again. It's like when your annoying friend invites you to their open mic night, and they're just telling the same jokes that they've told a million times before.
You keep laughing at them because they're your friend.
Exactly.
Well, Harumph is going to be the first of our characters to head to the moon. Klopfer heading over to Dwarf Castle. I haven't seen what he's picked up yet. Strength Ring in the shop is always nice. Black Sword could be nice for an early Cecil, as well as a Dragon Whip, if we see Iridia later.
Yeah, that's always nice to see. Could turn a couple of our mages into Deathbringers. And there's a ninja hat in the Troya armor shop.
I would be grabbing that immediately, but or worst case, writing it down to come back for later. That could be huge in terms of agility later.
Yeah, that's why you keep a little notepad by your gaming rig to make a post-it note to stick right on your forehead. Ninja hat in Troya.
Tamra, apparently. Not Tamra, not Troya.
Of course.
Well, who do we have here on the moon? Yang.
A moon monk. So all the great gear we've picked up, not immediately useful.
Not the worst. Oh, Harumph, please. Not the worst thing in the world. Certainly you want to get some levels on him as quick as possible. Might think about trying to go take on an egg here in the near future. But we'll also get a peek at that second objective, completing Cave Bahamut. We'll see who's hiding in here.
Yeah. I haven't seen an hourglass or anything like that. If an hourglass were available, a quick hairdryer's chest might be good to get that young some levels.
I have not seen one yet either. There's a strength ring. That'll definitely help out that young. Maybe just bump up a multiplier or so. Well, speaking of hourglasses.
Yeah. Always nice to see.
I'd be tempted to walk. I don't care who the boss is here. I'm walking out with that. And some flavor of Mylon.
Either Mylon or Mylon Z. Harumph did find an exit somewhere along the way, and we'll utilize that now.
Are we going to see the hairdryers? Or we? Nope, he's going straight back to Earth. So my guess is we're now going to see our Hobbs character, since we're 10 minutes in and no one's been to Hobbs.
True. And Hobbs is the only other character check immediately available right now.
Well, we have both Hobbs and Baron, but I'm not sure this party gets through Baron yet. I think we need a few levels for that first, but we're going to see Sheila 1 first.
Yeah, I believe all of our runners did check in on the underground Yang while they were in the Stealth Cave. And Pyre, first up on Hobbs, finds a Sparkle with a cane. And those are DE's Lunars.
Well, that Dwarfax that, excuse me, the Dwarfax that Harumph found is going to come in handy here.
Very much so. Back row glitched that cane. And probably the most, certainly better than a Spear. Oh, but he also found an Ogre Axe, and he'll use that as well.
There's a Thunderclaw for Yang, so that's an instant upgrade there.
Harumph, meanwhile, is going to defend Fabul with just the 3. Mike 34 in Baron Inn sees a Sid guarded by a Lunar Sparkle.
And another Lunar Sparkle at Fabul. 0 for 2 with a Pale Dim.
Yeah, we're looking for one Lunar Sparkle. That's Wyvern. We got 5 chances at it. So far, D-Lunars and Pale Dam off the table. We don't know yet what that Lunar Sparkle in Baron Inn is.
Oh, we're going to get to peek that, but we'll see that here sooner rather than later, I think.
Certainly. Pale Dim at Fabul, not a big deal.
Yeah, and there's a reminder. We had a Lunar Sparkle to start off in the Baigan spot, so...
That's true.
That's 2 unaccounted for sparkles at the moment. We will hopefully see sooner. That's a black belt there for Pyre in the Antlion Cave. That's a very nice find for either Yang or Rosa right now.
Klopfer heading over to Hobbs. And did Harumph overflow on that aim? Ooh.
Yeah, taking a reset. Looks like that bug's stuck. And
yeah, so...
We're going to come back later.
Yeah, so that... when Rosa's in the middle slot, you can overflow that aim command, make her more perfect than perfect, and the game doesn't like that.
Wow. Wow. The left side chest in Antlion, you never really see anyone go over there, but Harumph just found both a Silk Web and another Siren.
Very nice to see. Pyre, meanwhile, going to the bottom and finding Octoman down there.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if any other runner goes and checks those chests. That could be a very big advantage there for Harumph later on down the line.
And I didn't see how many Sirens our runners start with. You can start with 1 or 2 with the particular gift bag that you have. And
I believe I saw 2 earlier, but I'm not positive.
Well, 2 would be better than 1, and 3 is better than 2. And Pyre gets the Rat Tail for defeating Octoman.
Klopfer through the D-Lunars with his cane.
Doing some clean out of the Antlion, but notably, I believe, missed that Silk Web and those Sirens.
Yeah,
that Siren.
Those chests on the left side of Antlion Cave, very uncommonly gotten. It's just very out of the way.
Yeah. Nobody in this game has a pedometer on. Nobody's tracking their steps. So, you rarely see the people going out of their way when they don't have to.
Looks like we're starting to retrace steps here at the moment. Interesting to see where Harumph goes. If Harumph heads back toward Fabul or decides to go toward Baron Inn.
Pyre defending the honor of Fabul at the moment. Mike 34 trying to pick up that cane. Klopfer loading up that cane with the black belt, the ninja hat, and the ogre axe. That cane is loaded for bear.
I'm laughing at Mike. Kane living up to the trader role as Kefka in this game at the moment. And Mike gets through the D-Lunars as Pyre also gets through Pale Dim.
Pyre the first to successfully defend Fabul on stream. Oh, a poison axe in the left side of Football Castle. Just a ninja shirt from the king.
Well, that's a nice 15,000. And a hook from Sheila 1.
Which all of our runners have access to at the moment.
Pyre is going to grab that, and I'm guessing we see an immediate rat tail check.
You gotta check the rat tail. You gotta check that character, I would think. Especially for Harumph, because he doesn't have that cane yet.
think we might still see Baron in before heading down the hook route, but yeah, that character is really looming kind of large at the moment.
Yeah, I guess nobody else has picked up an exit like Harumph did, but Harumph also used his exit already.
I think he was the only one to dip into Cave Bahamut, which is where the exit was, apparently. So Paladin just kind of locking on to Yang here for Harumph. Getting a little bit unlucky there.
Yeah, Yang really doing the damage for Harumph's party.
Harumph missed out on the Samurai Bow, so Rosa only has the Elven Bow right now. Which is not bad, but, I mean, Samurai's just better.
Pyre giving us a check at the Waterfall boss. It's the Magus Sisters.
This is a boss we're not going to see the rest of the game.
Yep, no issue there. Harumph and Klopfer both through. Mike got his shirt, so Fabul has been defended for all 4 of our runners. There are 51 total runners in this race, all trying to vie for a spot in that top 64. We are going to focus on the 4 runners on stream, all of whom appear safely in the top 64, but can always do a little bit better, and who knows, with a good enough time, could sneak into the top 16.
Hey, Scythe, or Sheep. God, I'm having a rough day. Sheep, Paledem just wanted to pop into the chat and let us know everyone took him out.
Thank you, Paledem.
And a tower key behind the rat tail.
Well, if you weren't incentivized enough to go to the top of tower by the presence of that objective, now you have no excuse not to go to the tower.
Pyre looks to be heading down to check the hook character.
Also, quite a bit of good looting you could do on the way down.
Mike is making the first trip up Ordeals, hoping to snag himself a wyvern up here.
Yeah, 3 chances to get the wyvern or a Demus. Those are the only boss hunts that our runners are particularly concerned with. But no Cecil, no Tella, and no Fu, so no immediate reason to go up Ordeals, but it is a key item check. It is 3 boss checks.
Klopfer deciding to check the shops at... Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I missed Klopfer taking out the Fabul defense. Never mind.
And Pyre finds a Tella.
No comment.
Baigen is on the hook route. That's a boss that our runners will never have to see. They'll be glad for that.
Well, Mike finding the officer-soldier fight at the first spot at Ordeals.
The first spot at Ordeals, one of the easier spots in the game. Weak, slow. Definitely not where you want to see officer-soldier, but Mike is through. Oh, and that's a CPU in the back spot.
Someone say orb?
Orb. Annoying back here.
Yeah. This is... I think that's the exact word. This is just an annoying fight right here. It really is.
Klopfer going to make his trek up Ordeals, and Pyre on his way there too.
I may have missed it, but I think we may have found a second curse ring for Harumph here. And a Gunger, apparently. So, if Harumph gets that cane, he's got a decent weapon for him. And there's another ninja hat. So that may solve his agility problems the rest of the seed.
Yeah, enough gear to swap on and off to make to manipulate the agility precisely the way he wants to at any point on the seed. But for how open the seed seemed, our runners seemed to be going to the same places at the same time.
Well, Mike is working his way through that CPU. There goes the main orb. And Edward takes a nap.
Not a big deal.
Hey, the best thing Edward does is guard the floor.
It's not like we needed Edward for tech support anyway.
So we're going to have Rosa going into the solo Ordeals fight here. What are we hoping for today? Ogo?
You know which boss has like the biggest jump up from being the solo from where you find them normally to being the solo Ordeals boss is Dr. Luge. Dr. Luge here is super annoying to have one person against. Plus you have to do the poison walk on the way out. It's just bad.
And we get an illusion.
Well, the real prize is getting Tella all those spells.
Yes.
The Tella that Mike doesn't know he has yet.
Well, looking like Rose is going to be fine. We're already making the elf change.
Yeah, Dark Elf here, not threatening. Especially if you have any kind of decent arrows.
Yeah, you just gotta make sure you beat him quick. Otherwise, you give Dragon Breath a chance to...
sap you.
Yeah.
But Mike does that and has conquered the mountain. Meanwhile, Klopper and Pyre working on that CPU. Pyre, playing with fire here, has knocked down both the attacker and defender.
Question for Mike is where do we go now? He's got a Tella waiting for him on the hook rope, but again, nobody's been to Baron yet. So there's a character just sitting there waiting for someone to come get them.
And that's a Sid. Fire was able to get that Yang back up. And, you know, you can do a little orb grind here. Don't do an orb grind.
If I have to. I mean, something this early, it's not the worst thing in the world. Really, any kind of extra XP is good right now, but... man... well, there's that Ogo. So we're down to Plague and Wyvern for two sparkles. We know a sparkle behind Baron Key.
Yeah, and now it's a 50% chance that it's our first objective once we get that Baron Key. But Ogopogo in that first spot, really good to see, and King Queen Evelyn behind it. That's a free Baron in.
I mean, it's nice to get the Sid. It's nice for a free key item check, but really want to see those elsewhere. Somewhere a little more difficult.
I mean, why are you hanging out with the common folk, King Queen Evelyn? You could be in a place more befitting your stature.
Hey, they're trying to learn how their how all their subjects live. Okay, they're trying to broaden their horizons.
What do the common folk do?
So we have access to 2 objectives at the moment, 2 and 5. We're a couple key items here from Gomo. This is wow. Well, I just Rosa got weak there for Pyre, barely getting healed in time.
Wow.
And is out of samurai arrows, it looks like.
At least they are for sale, and at least with the weak, the Dark Elf can be taken care of with iron arrows.
Yeah. And a sand ruby from Baron Inn. Well, shall we play character roulette?
It's another character check. Nobody's been to the Desert Oasis yet, so we don't know who's in the bed.
Every check you don't do is a crystal sword for the Cecil it's hiding, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely.
So 4 or 5 crystal swords just sitting in Kaipo. Let's go and get them.
Yeah, the Kaipo bed has a crystal sword with a Cecil.
We're doing a quick Demist check. Vanilla Demist.
Yeah, gonna check the Mist Cave. We already know that it's a Zonk in the waterfall. And it's a Zonk in the Mist Cave as well.
Yeah, so some fiends are just gonna enjoy a trip to the Mist Cave today. We'll just leave them there. They can stay unbothered the rest of the seed.
Yeah, they're having a party in the Mist Cave.
And it's Iridia in the bed.
And Mike says, come on over.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Sylph, probably for sale somewhere. I haven't seen it specifically, but it's plenty available. The Hook Shop and the Underground shops might have Leviathan available, so Iridia has really gotten a glow up with these flags.
Oh, and Harumph taking a wipe to the Dark Elf. Couldn't quite get that last shot off before the debreath. Took a week and then the breath.
Yeah, you hate to see it. It's something that certainly can happen, and just a really bad roll for Harumph there.
Well, there's the Sylph for that Iridia. Looks like Mike's gonna grab it.
Klopfer has his Sand Ruby, and it's also going to be...
Mike sold the Soma drop. That may come back to hurt him if he does a D-Machine grind here later.
So the Soma drop adds 10 to your max MP, and if you don't know, the D-Machine grind utilizes Tella's weak ability, and Tella normally has 90 max HP, which means he can cast weak 3 times. With 100, with the Soma drop, he can cast it 4 times, which makes a huge difference when you're facing a bunch of D-Machines at once.
So Klopfer gonna now head down and grab that Tella. While Mike is making our first return trip underground. And
Klopfer did check the bed in Kaipo, saw Iridia, and said, no, thanks.
Could be saving Iridia for a slingshot later. Again, if a D-Machine grind happens. But Mike over here looks like he's gonna pop an egg for some XP here for his party. Oh, I was wrong. We only started with one siren, so this is the
Yeah,
only
so
siren he has. Yes.
that siren that Harump picked up will be nice. Will double his supply of sirens.
Oh, playing with fire with the dragon at the moment. I don't know if Mike saved before the fight. He's trying to take out Rydia to keep that slingshot in order.
Yeah, trying to do a whole bunch of things at once. We'll see if he's able to manage it. Rosa was able to dodge that thunder. Klopper, meanwhile, taking on the stalemate chest on the hook route.
Alright, Mike gets through the dragon. Sid took a nap, so no XP. That's not the worst thing in the world, but nice bit of XP for everybody else.
And Klopper's Rosa has Berserk.
And an Asura from the trap. That could end up being very useful later. A kind of emergency heal.
Klopper did say no to Rydia, but knows that Rydia is in the bed anytime he wants to pick her up. So, and a silk web, very nice to have.
Mike looks like he's ready to go take out some dragons.
Except Mike doesn't even have Tele yet.
He might have just remembered that. Oh. I think he reset to before the egg.
Oh no.
Yeah. Unfortunate there.
Well, let those among us who haven't done it cast the first stone.
Yeah.
You'll notice I have no stones.
None to be found, no.
Harumph through Baron in. Klopper taking on that Tella, going to ditch that Eddie. And meanwhile, Pyre heading up the tower.
Well, with the tower key in hand, that's a fairly easy check. There's only a couple bosses that are going to be difficult at the cannon room. Question is, who are we going to see on top?
Yeah, and like we were saying earlier, the top has a ton of HP. You got to do a lot of damage, but it's not particularly powerful either with physical attacks or with magic attacks. So Pyre going to check the cannon room first. Could just be making a half tower play. We'll see.
Oh,
that's one of the bosses that
yeah. Ugh.
Mom Bomb has just has a bunch of HP wherever she is, and really annoying in the cannon room.
Fortunately, it's a pretty low bar to get Mom Bomb to the explode phase. This might be one where you're just okay letting it explode and then take out the mini bombs. Mike. Is Mike trying to set up a Mac Giant grind?
That would be the play with a Darkness Crystal and with Nutella.
I'm going to want to ask him about this later. You have a character check open. I don't necessarily think this is a bad play, but I think I'd want to check that character first for a Tella, just because if Tella's on the hook, which obviously we know he is, then it's so much easier for a D-Machine grind as opposed to a Mac Giant grind. If that is indeed what Mike is attempting here.
He could just be philosophically opposed. Pyre through the Mom Bomb.
I mean, we do know his name for Tella, so I can't say I blame him for wanting to do something other than a D-Machine grind, but I don't know if I don't know if I'd be committing to a Mac Giant grind this early. But then again, that's why I'm here in the booth and he's playing the seed.
Yeah, Mike has had a very good qualifier so far, ranking 37th with enough races to qualify. So he appears safely in the bracket stages. He could be doing some practice for another grind. He could be making a gamble that the hook route has a duplicate character and that all that walking would be wasted. He doesn't have a source of exit yet. So that could be what he's thinking.
Well, unfortunately, he's been at this for quite a while now.
Yeah, doing the step manipulation, even though the step manipulation was kind of invented for seeds with the can't run flag on, the enemies in the giant are still very quick, and this party is still very squishy.
Well, if it pays off, he'll have a massive advantage. And Pyre finds a Bahamut at the top of the tower.
This could be a little tricky.
Well, not quite a spot where you can just pop a Star Veil and let Bahamut take itself out. You're actually going to have to fight this one out.
Yeah, Bahamut can't kill itself with the with its Mega Nuke because the magic power up here just doesn't have the strength.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me to see both Sid and Yang just straight live through this. Maybe even Kane. I think we've got a couple walls up, though.
Klopper, meanwhile, in Dwarf Castle, taking on Dr. Luge. Another character check. Dr. Luge in the first spot, not particularly threatening.
Well, I take back what I said about anybody surviving, but yeah. You're going to need several Mega Nukes from Bahamut here. Even with a couple characters walled to have him just take himself out. You're going to have to get in a little chip damage as well.
And we'll see how long those walls last.
He might be trying to jump the Mega Nuke here, actually. Oh no, he's going to put up a wall on Kane, so... That's going to be some extra damage off that reflected Mega Nuke, but... I don't think this one's going to be enough to take it out, though. Oh. So... Dwarf 2... well... We see a Val and then an Edge.
And Klopfer prefers Edge to Tella.
Well... We have the advantage here with an Edge. We can go steal Sirens.
Yes.
Now, we have to get through Val first. But...
Val only has 3,000 HP in this spot, and we do have a Kane.
So we may be seeing Klopfer go steal 20, 30 Sirens right now and just say, hey, let's do the grind right now.
Yeah, and with the Underground available, with the Moon available, anywhere that Klopfer wants to pop those Sirens, he can do it.
Pyre is through Bahamut. Couple walls wore off, though, so he only had the two characters, and he gets an Earth Crystal for it. That is very interesting at the moment. We do
nice party rock.
Yeah, we do not have a ton of great gear at the moment. That treasury is looking very, very interesting right now.
Yeah, and also two character checks at the top of the Tower's Eye. But Pyre is the first runner on stream to complete an objective.
40 minutes in, we have an objective completed. The first of 16 on the restream.
Harumph, meanwhile, is in the Giant, looking for his grind.
I don't think this is what he had in mind. Mike's still trying to get those back Giants.
Luca wearing a life staff around her neck.
Oh, life staff will definitely be helpful later. a nice little stick it right now. Won't do much.
No, but Rosa will certainly appreciate that down the line. Pyre, meanwhile, being chased out of the tower. He gets a pass.
Certainly not going to be upset with that.
All in all, a very successful, profitable Tower of Babel for Pyre.
And immediately heading for that treasury.
Yep, it's
7 key items. Well, Harumph appears to have found his D machine.
Pyre making a beeline for that treasury. Wants to gobble up all the stuff he can.
Have we seen Ethers? I don't recall at the moment.
I don't recall seeing Ethers in shops.
Well,
Oh, Pyre facing the ultimate boss.
Mike seems to have finally found the right setup and is heading toward those Mac Giants. There's a Gunger and a Dancer and another Hourglass. I missed the top half of the treasuries. I don't know if there's anything.
Yeah, there was another Gungnir Spear up there. An Ashura Orb. A Diamond Shield. Not much, honestly.
Yeah, the Hourglass is definitely nice. That
Yes.
may be the best thing to find there, honestly.
Yeah, a bunch of things for Edge to throw.
If Pyre ever gets that edge, he may not. Depending on what we see here, Dwarf is a somewhat slow check. I don't know. If this turns out to be a Baron Key, I think that's an immediate check for that Moon Sparkle.
Yeah. As LSC pointing out in chat, it's really about the boxes we got to open along the way.
Well, we have our Mac Giant grind. Gonna assume blink everybody up first and then just let loose.
Yeah. While we have a couple people in the grind, do want to thank our restreamer Solaris and our tracker Antidale for doing terrific jobs, and my co-commentator Cubs Rule 21. Give them all a follow.
Please also give Sheep Launcher a follow. Doing hero's work, and just thank you for carrying me thus far. This has been a fun restream.
Give us all a follow. Don't cost nothing.
Of course, give all 4 runners a follow as well. Harumph, Pyre, Klopfer, and Mike. All excellent runners. All will be hopefully making a run in brackets. We'll have to wait and see.
Yes. Yeah, these are names you will be seeing more often. Pyre going up Tower of Zot finds Water Hag in the Magus Sister spot.
All right.
Edward! 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 Edward!
Anna, I'm sorry, but your bard is in another castle.
Yeah, he's in the Tower of Wishes. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to shout a really loud in order to get there.
Well, at least on the right side of the earth, I guess.
Yeah. Well, Anna does give the motivational speech, and Pyre gets through the Water Hag.
Well, Mike is taking on those Mac Giants, while Harumph is... We have dueling grinds between the Mac Giants and the D Machine right now. We find a Sid in the Betrayer spot today.
Yeah, duplicate Sid, well, no help to us.
Klopfer, having just dispatched the Bahamut, is going to get his pass on the way down. And presumably we'll be following Pyre to Sid leading Sid to a young.
So, more like the Tower of Dupes.
Well, now's where you're just praying to see part of Forge or a package.
Yeah, something to make this long trip pay off. The Calbrena doll's in the Valvalis spot. At least the Tower Zod isn't particularly threatening from a boss perspective.
Yeah, a little rough with this party in particular. You don't really have great area of attack. You could use an Hourglass on the Blue Dolls. Probably could also just cure up a Fire 3 at Atella and see if he is able to take them all out. I don't know if he'd quite get that far.
I believe on some runner streams we've seen an Earth Hammer on that Sid. A little mini Quake never hurt.
I think that at this spot is going to be just enough to take out the red dolls and see yourself a big doll.
Except the Hourglass has already gone off, so
yes,
no worries there. Our tracker at Dale pointing out that Meteo's in play.
No swag rocks today.
Nope. At least not from Pyre. But he is through.
Well, Rosa gets exit. Not the worst thing in the world. Not what you're hoping for when you come up here, but you certainly won't say no to it.
And I believe that's the first source of, well, besides Tella, it's the first source of exit.
And speaking of Forge, there is a Legend Sword from Zot.
And that makes it worth it.
Yeah. Certainly not going to turn that down.
You're going to head back underground.
Well, he's going to get that edge. He does know that Val is here. And with the Cane, Cane is really Val insurance, so he should be fine here.
Yeah, and Val is really ugly to face in a lot of spots, but the Golbez spot is not really one of them. I do love seeing Dr. Luge in the first spot. Just a dancing, happy doctor. Just ignore everything else about him and just...
As long as you kill him before he starts talking, he's fine.
Yeah. You know, you can ignore how he used the royalty of Evelyn as his own personal science experiment, and just look at how happy he is to be moving around. We can all take inspiration from that.
Klopfer is trying to dig out the trap chest here in the Tower of Babel.
He does have that edge. Might be time to sneak some sirens.
That is a good point. If you're gonna make that your grind, now's the time. And we'll be fairly close in terms of the length of grind to Mike and Harumph, who are still going on theirs.
So you've played these flags a bunch, as many of us, but you're safely ensconced in brackets, hopefully, Cubs. Is this a Z party that you like? Edge, Sid, Kane, Rosa, Young?
I'm tempted... I'm tempted to maybe drop Sid for Rydia, especially if we see another... If we happen to see another mage out there. I'd be very tempted to go Reflect Strats. If this was a Sid hero, I would say yes, we have our party. Because then from Forge, you're going to end up with an incredibly good weapon that multiple characters can equip. But, I don't know if I'm this party's workable. I don't know if I'm thrilled with it, but it's definitely workable.
Yeah, there is that Rydia available.
Though, if Clopper is going for Sirens, he may not be looking for Rydia. He may be going Berserker, because you could then go steal some Bacchus wines. And after you get some levels on this team, just go blow up the moon.
That is very true. There are 2 opportunities to sneak Bacchus wines in Castle Evelyn and also along the Hook path.
Well, can also just go pop a siren inside of Cave Magnus if you end up going to check music.
That's true. That is true. Do want to welcome in the Raiders from Radio Hupfin. We are just under an hour in. Our 2 random objectives: Burn Village Mist with the package, defeat the boss of Lower Babel. Pyre and Clopper have completed the 5th objective. Nobody has completed any other objectives so far.
Clopper just pulled a heroin robe from that trap chest. That's also a nice find. I did not see how many sirens he ended up with.
Something like 7.
That seems about right. We have a couple hourglasses. Might be going to go take out some gold dragons, maybe?
Certainly available to him. He'll get the pass, which he didn't know he had before, but that might make going to the moon even more appealing.
Well, I'd say he hasn't gone to the treasury yet, so we're going straight there.
First, he's going to check out the Troya, the actual Troya weapon shop.
Well, there's some mute arrows there. Certainly nice to see.
Pyre gets the life staff, trades it for the karate gi, but more importantly has to deal with the inventory boss again.
We got 11 sirens, it looks like, for Klopfer, so he has 12, since I think he still has the one from the beginning of the game. That's a moon grind right there, if he wants it. Also sitting at 7 key items for Klopfer, might make a push for 8, or for 10. I don't know. Meanwhile, Harumph is done with his grind.
And did you see how much experience?
No, but it looks like Rydia has nuke. So...
Rydia has nuke. That'll work.
Yeah, there's at least 500,000 there, because that was a slingshot. Rosa's gonna get Cure 4. Will she get white? Yes, she gets white. Meanwhile, Mike had a bit of a hiccup there with his Mac Giants, but seems to have everything back under control.
And it really... It really speaks to how good a runner Mike is that he was down to 1 character alive at one point and was able to recover, not reset. So well done there.
Well, not only not recovering, but if you don't recover at this point, after all the time you've put into this, you might as well just... I mean, your seed is done at that point.
Yeah, it's a real deflator to put all that time into a grind, and that's the issue with the Mac Giant and the D Machine grind is, once you have the rhythms down, how well you're going to, how much experience you're going to get, how well you're going to do. But one mistake at the wrong time, and that's a lot of time down the drain.
Chat just wanting to know we got to hear the lovely sound of Poison Walk there for a moment. Did somebody turn on a metal detector? Well, it looks like both Harumph and Pyre are heading up to take out Cave Bahamut. Again, we saw some flavor of Mylon there earlier.
Yes.
Oh.
And Klopper going to complete his Troya trip with a trip up the Tower of Zot.
Fairly, I mean, it's not fairly. It's a monster mental level different here. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll get to see how the levels make a difference.
Yeah, having an extra level 55 Rydia. Yeah, that'll work.
Oh, maybe just the party difference is going to make a difference. No, I'm pretty sure it's just levels. And it's Mylon and friends having a party at Cape Bahamut.
Well, it's definitely going to be a little advantage here for a Rumph having that Quake, just to be able to clear out the gas quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, Cape Bahamut is the real party spot, but really you got to clear out the gas in order to get to the main guy. Klopfer through that water hag after receiving the inspirational speech.
Yeah, here's the difference. Mylon goes boom on Harumph's side. We have to take some time and blink people here for Pyre. But yeah, this Mylon's about to have a very bad day.
Yeah, this Mylon's about to get hit in the face with a white.
Yeah, not as bad as if it was Mylon Z, but he's still gonna have a bad day.
Oh, his body. Oh. I wonder what part of the body white hurts the most. For some reason, I bet it's really painful to the knee. Like, your knee just kills after white.
Oh, not even text, just vaporizing Mylon right there.
He doesn't even get to complain about his body.
And you know what? A full moon is not the worst prize there. Getting to back row that edge.
Exactly. Fine. Back row weapon for edge.
If he gets the edge. Which, you know what? Okay, for Klopfer, that's a good find. For Harumph, not so much. I doubt we're seeing an edge.
Klopfer, meanwhile, played with fire a little bit by using flame to take out the red dolls, but was able to clean up the blue dolls before they were able to transform.
Getting his legend sword. So, I think Harumph, we'll have to see what the moon yields here, but if there's anything here, he's definitely got an advantage just in terms of purely in terms of battle time.
Yeah, there are a lot of key items still unaccounted for, so the moon play is certainly a viable play here.
Mike has finished his Mac Giant Grind. I did not see how much experience he got off of that.
No, but his Rosa got up to life 2.
Well, in that grind, we saw both the advantages and the disadvantages of that Mac Giant Grind. It can get you up there, but it can take a very long time compared to a D-Machine grind.
Yeah.
Harumph finished his grind 5-7 minutes ago and started trying to get it much later, so Mike has some ground to make up, not out of this by any means.
No, with how wide open the seat is and with how many objectives everyone has left to do, and nobody's out of it for sure, but yeah, you want to maximize your opportunities where you can.
Chad asking if Harumph is fading the Murasame altar. No, going bottom up, he's going to head down to the ribbon room first and work his way back up to Crystal Sword, and then exit out and go back in for Murasame.
Yeah, going bottom up is a fairly common strategy because the key items are just more dense there. The ribbon room has 2 key items in it by itself, and there's the plague spot just a couple steps away, and the Ogopogo altar just a little bit there. So bottom up is a fairly common strategy, and that means that's a plague. I hear you. I hear you.
Tracker Antidale has been calling this basically since the seed started. Baron Key has value today holding that Wyvern.
Yes. Wyvern is one objective, and the Baron Key gets you a ticket straight to him.
Now, this is a bit of an awkward fight here for Harumph. This is 42,000 hit points of a plague. And 42,000 hit points of fighting a count. Normally, this might actually be a spot where you might want to throw that Curse Ring on Rosa and just Zerk some people up. And is a couple of RA1 Zerkers, and you'll never see count resolve. It looks like we're just going to fight this one straight up.
Yeah, Harumph going to do a damage race. It is one of those things where, when you grind up, your agility goes up as well, especially for Rosa, and it can get you in a little bit of a pickle, and that's one of the spots where it can do it. We'll see how Klopper does it as well.
He is making use of these kamikazes, which, when you have both a Yang and a Sid with 3,500 HP or more, that's going to do a nice chunk of damage as well as reset that count.
Very true. A very heads-up play. A good place to use those kamikazes. Pyre is through Mylon, but you saw how far behind he is. Harumph went into the Mylon fight around the same time and exited, 3-4 minutes later?
Klopfer is also taking on this plague, is trying to take Yang down to force the count reset.
Harumph is through and got a Twin Harp.
That is interesting. It's not enough for me to leave, and doesn't look like it's enough for Harumph to leave either.
No, Harumph is not bailing on the moon. Twin Harp, if it were the Baron Key, that might be enough for me to leave the room. The Twin Harp, although I love it, although it's music, it's not enough for me to bail on my strategy at this point.
Klopfer, working the ATB perfectly, had a couple people drop to count before it was refreshed. But now that just means he can revive them whenever he wants and have that count refresh again. Hello, Mr. Mist. How you doing?
Bonus.
You know how much HP D-Mist has at this location?
Tell me.
I can tell you it's not 27,384.
No
particular reason for knowing that, but it's not that amount. As we're making our way, I don't know. I'd be very tempted. I think if I'm in this position, I think I take the Masamune altar. And then I think I save scum and go check D-Mist.
Uh-oh. Klopfer's about to have a really bad time. Klopfer just put the Avenger on his cane.
Uh-oh. I'd be very...
At least he'll know where his reset button is.
I'd immediately be resetting, yes.
Yeah.
Take that off.
Yeah, that's just... the RNG is just not in your favor. And there it is.
You know, if you had a coffin, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just coffin Kane and revive him right after the mist. But, you know, we're going to see Cloffer head down toward Masamune before taking out the Demist. Meanwhile,
takes down it. Yeah. So, more quests. More things to fetch.
Yes, we have several keys now. We do not have the one we want in the Baron key. Oh. This is going to be fun.
This might hurt a lot.
Yeah. So, you know how we say certain bosses are free? Because, you know, we have some nice scripts that we can take advantage. Sir not appearing in the seat is not here to save us. We have to fight this karate straight up.
Yeah.
And at this spot, he hits like a truck. Harumph is going to have this is going to be a much more difficult fight for Cloffer. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Notwithstanding the amount of extra firepower Harumph has, Harumph just has so much more HP to soak up the big hits that the Karate Man puts out of the spot.
Yeah, look, we're now playing what I like to call life potion roulette. It brings me back to the my old days playing Pokemon, just spamming revives in the Elite Four, just hoping to God you get a turn to reset.
Yeah. How much worse would this fight be for Cloffer without that Avenger, though?
Well, he's getting some lucky rolls in that the Karate is not targeting Kane. So he's getting to make use of the Avenger. Meanwhile, Harumph deciding he wants to just open a microwave inside of Karate and just make him go boom.
Yeah. Nuke to the face is a strategy.
And a very good strategy along with a white.
Yeah. Taking out that Karate Man. And Cloffer is through as well and gets a spoon.
This is going to be 10 key items for Cloffer. And that... A little unfortunate that he already did the Ribbon Room and Plague, because I had almost...
He hasn't done Plague yet.
No, yes, he has the Plague spot, yes, but he took out the Plague in the Ribbon Room.
That's true.
I would have been tempted almost to do the other two first to see if it gets me to 10 key items. No, I
yeah,
don't
he
remember.
He wouldn't have gotten to 10 key items without that Twin Harp in the Ribbon Room.
Yeah. Well, he will at least have double XP the rest of the moons, so that gets a decent amount of XP, especially from Crystal Sword and the Mura Altars.
And he hasn't used his Sirens yet, I don't believe.
Correct. Speaking of Sirens, it's time to put them to use.
He was waiting for 10 key items, and now it's time.
He's picked up 3 hourglasses. Well, now we see why he's waited.
Yeah. Harumph, meanwhile, going to that Crystal Sword altar, fighting Leviathan. And
making very short work of those dolls. One Quake and say goodnight.
I do want to point out that of the Forerunners on stream, we've seen 4 different grind approaches so far. Pyre is like, grinds are for chumps. Mike did the Mac Giant, Harumph did D Machines, and Cloffer is doing sneaking Sirens and doing Gold Dragons.
I'm a little curious to ask Cloffer why he went for so many Sirens if he was going to wait for 10 key items. I'm a little surprised he didn't pop a few early just to make the moon bosses easier, but I can understand this. Meanwhile, Leviathan just had a very short evening there for Harumph.
Yeah,
and we have a rock.
Harumph getting that value, doesn't know where the Legend Sword is yet.
Harumph not having been to Baron. Interesting. At this point, I assume he's got to go back in for the Myrrh Altar.
And we are officially one key item away from no mode. Either the package or the Baron key.
That's right. Legend was at Zot. Excuse me, not in Baron. We still have not seen that Wyvern.
Well, we know where the Wyvern is.
Yes, you're right. Behind Baron. Yeah.
Yeah. We have not seen the Baron key. And Harumph is going to complete his clear out of the moon.
So Harumph actually has quite a chain to get to that Legend Sword. He's got to go do top of tower to then go do Zot to get Legend. Oh. Well, this is a problem for everyone not named Harumph.
Yeah, Harumph is gonna have no problem here, but this could hurt for people who don't have just tanks of HP.
Yeah. I think Klopfer is fine at this point. He'll at least get through it. Mike saying to himself, dang it, I wish I'd come here sooner.
And decides to pass on that edge. That edge has nothing to offer him after he's done his grind. And Harumph has a Baron key.
Really? Well, Harumph is technically in go mode. He gets a tower, he gets the Earth Crystal, and that would give him Legend. After he takes out combined with the Wyvern.
Well, you can't skip the moon this time.
Of course, it couldn't have been like this morning, right? So,
question in chat, and just want to remind everybody, Rosa is the hero of this particular seed. Rosa's going to get a nice bow or set of arrows from turning in that adamant and legend sword. And Rosa will determine the agility, which is why the ninja hat that was available is going to be very nice, and or why you're going to want to grind her to 60.
Now, Baron is going to be very interesting here. First Harumph now turning in the rat tail and getting his tower key. Baron, it could lead to the package. That is entirely possible.
Well, Harumph also has a Demus check to make as well, and
yes.
if I were in his shoes, I would try to remember to do that first.
No. If he doesn't go for it now, I think it's safe to say we may not see it for a while. So hopefully he goes there immediately.
I mean, nobody ever forgets about Demus when they're on Restream.
Nope, never happened. Not once.
It's never happened to me. I've never done it.
Never happened to me. I don't know what you're talking about. And it's not happening to Harumph, going straight for
Harumph is doing the thing.
Go to the place and do the thing. Yes, that's exactly, yes.
Klopfer is through that Demus.
And it's a nice piece of armor, but yeah, you
certainly not what you're looking for.
No, not even close. If you get package from Rydia's mom, that's where I think you've entered a paradox timeline at that point.
And it's really sad about the diamond armor that none of the girls in this seat can wear it. Diamonds are supposed to be a girl's best friend.
I think Rosa has a diamond ring on at least one of our runners.
Okay. One diamond is not enough.
But is it forever?
Always.
Well, Harumph gonna get himself objective number 5 here, going straight to the top. Well, we'll see if he stops to do tower key or if he does tower on the way down. No, it looks like you're doing tower on the way down.
Yeah, he'll probably do the cannon room on the way back down, but and get that pass. Not strictly required.
Well, given that he knows the pass is not on the moon, so he knows as long as he keeps doing things on Earth, he'll eventually run into it. So he doesn't have to worry about heading back up there at least.
But Klopfer and Pyre are through that demist, neither being tempted to go back on the blue planet to check what it is. Mike also in the lunar subterranean, going to go bottom up.
Yeah, we Harumph finding his mini blarg at the top of the tower. And about to have a much different fight from everyone else who came this way.
No, everybody else was playing defense, and Harumph is very much going on the offensive.
Yeah, Rydia gets another turn and this fight's over. If Rydia gets another turn.
Even Sid contributing.
Kids, let this be a lesson. Don't play with microwaves. They're very dangerous.
Well, as our preeminent philosopher of our time, Weird Al Yankovic, said, put your head in the microwave and give yourself a tan. You could dare to be stupid.
This is just where we want to point out, please don't do that. That's a very, very bad idea.
Yeah. Kids, don't listen to your Uncle Sheep Launcher on anything.
Well, Klopfer gonna head back in and get his Baron Key. He has his Forge. So he's gonna find himself a package. Actually, this is going to put Klopfer in go mode. I take that back.
Yeah, once Klopfer gets that Baron Key, he's going to have everything he needs. Except he hasn't done the Crystal Sword altar yet, has he?
He just did Crystal Sword.
Okay. So he got that out of it.
He hasn't done Cave Bahamut, but at this point with these levels that he's gotten from the Moon grind, or from the Moon boss grind, I don't think he cares. So as soon as he sees Baron Key here, he knows... Has he seen all of the... He knows he's in possible go mode. I don't know if he's seen all of the Moon bosses so far. Yeah,
I mean, it is really important to remember all of the information that we're able to process up here in the booth.
Oh no. Klopfer left the Avenger on. Well, he's taking it off, so he's going back in, which is very good.
Yes.
I would
don't
not
give up the
blame him.
ship.
Yeah, at that point, I would not blame him if he just said, nope, we're going to leave this behind and go. But he is going back.
Yeah, and that's one of those things where if you were to leave it behind and it turned out to be something essential to the game, you'd never be able to forgive yourself afterward. Or at least that's me. But Klopfer going to clean up.
So, Klopfer heading back, gonna get his Baron Key. Mike getting his Twin Harp.
And his Avenger.
And Pyre finding himself a nice dart. How many people do you think will actually... Well, we only have 2 people who can even throw the dart, so how many spoons are we going to see thrown?
I'm gonna put it at 1.
Harumph making a sealed cave play. Which, if this has package, I think that might put him ahead.
A really interesting play. It's a key item. It's a boss check. You don't have to fight the boss if you don't like either the boss or the key item.
I think this is, if this is not package or pan, I don't think there's much that would make me keep this item. Even a pink tail, I think I'd reset out of right now.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, again, Harumph does not yet have Legend Sword, so he could be looking for Legend.
And I care pointing out in chat, we've already had one spoon thrown. Pyre threw it at Demis.
Pyre just got his spoon, so maybe Klopfer threw it.
Either way.
Yeah.
Derek got a spoon. Right in the eye.
So he's a spoony dragon?
He's very much so. Or it was.
Fair point.
Klopfer heading down into Cave Bahamut.
Yeah. If this is package, this is a very close race between Harumph and Klopfer. If package is not down here in Sealed Cave, I think this is Klopfer's race to lose. And
that's a
package.
Harumph will fight his way out of the Luca Cave.
Sealed Cave strikes again. Uncanny.
Every time. Oh, and this is rough.
Yeah, he's got
the levels.
Yes, he does not have the Avenger that other people do though, so that's gonna be a little more difficult. That said, he had the microwave on his side, so that kind of makes up for it.
Yeah, this spot is really fast though.
So right now we're looking at Klopfer taking out Mylon Z versus Harumph exiting Sealed Cave and burning up Mist. And then they both converge on Baron. Oh, I'm sorry. Klopfer has to go Forge too, excuse me.
As well, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
Harumph not even worrying about the waves.
Pyre gets his adamant. Now the question is, does he go? If he goes back from Mura, he is in go mode as well.
Yeah, Pyre not far behind at all.
Nice. Yeah, a save and a heal, so I assume we're going back in.
Harumph is through. And has go mode, whether he realizes it or not. And that's the thing, you know, it was so long ago that there was a Sparkle handing us a key item, which was a Dragoon helmet or something. It was a Magma key, but you know, have you kept track of that? Do you know where all the other Sparkles are? That's one of the things about defeating the Wyvern is it's not always easy to tell when you've encountered the Wyvern before.
Even if you don't know that it's a Sparkle of Baron, if you've forgotten that, the potential of three boss checks and a key item check, I think, is too strong right now. I don't. Your other option is music. I think you're definitely going Baron before music.
I think so as well.
Yeah, that's the other point. He has Zot, but oh, he's going to burn the package or burn the Bird Mist. Klopfer actually will put that full moon to use and back row his edge.
And there's another edge.
And there's the guy we haven't. It took us 15 qualifiers. We finally found a mop.
And the mop decides to destroy a city.
This is Super Medio, right? Grandpa no from chat.
How many MP does Burn Village Mist cost?
So much that it erased food from the seed. You know, it's funny in the warm up in the pregame for each race. I know several people have been begging to see a foo just to see what it's like.
Yeah,
and we finally did, and
yeah,
still don't get to use them.
And you know, if burning down Village Mist isn't heroic, what is it?
Well, in this case, it is. It's an objective, I guess.
For various definitions of heroic, sure.
Yeah. Klopfer gonna get his forge. What do we think we're seeing? The Perseus bow or the Perseus arrows? What do we think we're getting?
Ooh.
And which would you prefer, actually?
We can't get scrap metal, huh?
No. Even with an edge, it has to be the hero to get that. And it's the Perseus
arrows.
So, Harumph?
Harumph?
Did Harumph
gonna take that edge?
No, I wonder if he mismarked the objective. And he thinks he didn't realize it was just burning Village Mist.
Or still on that boss hunt he resets out.
Good point. Yes, looking for Wyvern.
Yeah.
Okay, so that it at least says he doesn't know for a fact that it's Wyvern at Baron.
But maybe he is going to Baron now.
Maybe he knows it's a Sparkle, but doesn't. Klopfer, I don't think remembers the Sparkle.
Oh.
Now he's gonna get the package, but
yeah, Klopfer going to the Seal Cave, and so is Pyre.
Well, did Pyre get Baron Key? I thought I saw him go back for it. I did not see it.
And Harumph, I'm pretty sure, did complete burning down Village Mist, even though he reset out of it.
Yes, when he saved, he was outside of Mist with the mountain range. I'm pretty sure.
But yeah, I mean, I don't remember seeing Pyre. Pyre hasn't done the grind yet, so that Dark Knight Cecil would be a very hard fight for him to do.
He's pretty much done a grind at this point, having done most of the moon. And as we see, we do have Wyvern, which also sets up an interesting choice for Harumph. Do you walk out of Baron, or do you just fight the throne?
Harumph makes it official, takes care of that Wyvern, and gets his crystal right now. Could take the back way out. Could fight his way out.
I never know if it's faster to fight or to just walk out. And we're just going to walk.
Yeah, Harumph doesn't even care about the line of succession in Baron. I thought he was going to make a play and go rest up for a second, but no. Just going to go back out of the waterway. We're going to find out where warp takes us.
Yeah,
not where he wanted to.
Nope. Don't cast it again. Please don't cast it again. Oh, Pyre reset out of the Dark Knight Cecil and did not get Baron Key. So both he and Klopfer are getting bailed out with the package here. But they could very easily have both just gone into the Wyvern. It's hard. An hour and a half into a seed, it can be very hard to remember what it was that gave you an item right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, certainly. And when it's a Sparkle, and you know a Sparkle is one of 5 things anyway, you might not make a note. It's like, oh, I can't know it anyway, so I'm just going to pretend like I don't know it. And yeah,
So Harumph making his way over to Troya. He has pass in hand. So,
Huh.
what's next?
Huh. Harumph seems intent on finishing the game, I guess.
Wait, what?
Huh.
That's the goal, huh?
Apparently that's the goal. You wouldn't know it from watching any of my seeds, but apparently the goal is to actually beat the big boss at the end and win.
You mean getting the crystal isn't enough? Dang it.
Getting the crystal is not enough.
Dang nabbit.
Well, there are some modes of this game you can play where doing the objectives is enough, but...
We have the ninja hat on Rosa. Not putting the life... Oh, did he get... I don't know if he got the life staff earlier. Hey, Sheep?
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah.
There's some very bluishly colored flags in the chat.
I guess part of actually finishing the game and actually doing the thing is defeating the big boss at the end, and that boss is Dame Zeromus, and we can't change where Zeromus is or what Zeromus does, but we can change the way Zeromus looks. And so the reason we dither around like this and have all these Z flags in chat is because the question we've got to ask is, whose butt are we going to kick tonight? Come, say it. Say it.
Wait, we're going to get it a second time? Okay.
Yeah, do it.
The butt that shall be kicked. What does it look like?
It's the last qualifier.
And will it have a butt? That might be the biggest question of them all.
And is it cute?
We've seen multiple sprites in these qualifiers that just flat out don't have butts.
I refuse to believe that.
No, we've seen more than a few.
I refuse to believe that.
Well, it's a good thing you could go and find all the VODs of the previous qualifiers and check for yourself.
And look extra hard for butts, because that's what I do.
Rumpf making us wait, just the anticipation. Who gets to use the crystal? Tella.
Oh, we have
wow.
simultaneous mobs on Qualifier and Fire screens.
Actual sync. I'm trying to figure. They're actually in sync.
Almost pixel perfect.
No, I think actual pixel. Wow.
Incredible.
Good lord.
Good food.
And our butt. Hey, Scala, welcome back. Welcome back,
Scalamus joining us in chat. Joining us as the Z fight.
Yes, it is the birthday sprite itself. Welcome back, Scala. We have missed you.
Yes, medical stuff couldn't kick Scala's butt enough. Scala signed up for more butt kicking on stream.
The nerf there with the nuke to the face. Or that was reflected, I'm sorry. Oh, it's Harumph has the silk web. So we'll be
there have been a couple of silk webs picked up.
Scala wanting us all, just making it clear in the chat, yes, Scala does have a butt. Very clear for the rest of us.
Yeah. Harumph going for mostly reflect strats here.
God, it's just weird seeing Pyre and Cloffer. Just how in sync that is.
And they're both going to Troya.
Meanwhile, it looks like Mike also did not get Baron Cloffer. Cloffer's going to steal Bacchus.
Interesting. Picked up the wrong chocobo. Oh no.
That is the real final boss of this game. Getting the right dang chocobo.
Yes.
Like, oh yeah, Mike apparently just completely faded Meralter. I absolutely understand the play. It's unfortunate that is the play. Got to get that silver armlet off of Edge. The magnetic field is going to be in effect. We have not defeated the Dark Elf.
Yes, and Edge needs to be able to move in order to sneak.
Which will actually help that the rest of the party, instead of having to take them out to make sneak faster, they'll just probably be stuck there, stuck to the ground. No, a couple of them anyways.
From chewing through this Scalamus. Meanwhile, Pyre is on his way. Mike has his package.
Harumph proceeding through the fight. And that is it. GG to Harumph, 7th place overall, a 138-12. Congratulations, Harumph, taking down the restream.
A very good race by Harumph. Found that Tella, found the grind he wanted to do, and was able to blaze through the moon. GG's to Harumph. And we are joined by Harumph now. Harumph, that was a very good race. GG's.
Thank you.
So you started this pretty ensconced in the field of 64, but with a little bit of a wiggle room there. What was your approach heading into the race?
I figured I had locked in. I felt fairly comfortable in being top 64, so being able to make brackets, which is first priority for me here, and then I can worry about how well I do in that top 64 afterwards here. So I've been approaching here the most recent seeds with try to go as fast as I can here, but I'm not going to worry about putting too much energy into finishing the seed here if I'm not there for time. And the past few seeds hadn't gone well here, so I figured I'd join the volunteer, throw my name to be restreamed here so I can force myself to finish one. And it turns out here that this was my type of seed, I think, aside from a few hiccups in the early game. Gotta love a hard required moon and a bunch of rabbit holes you can go into here after clearing that, and a completely not required twin cave Magnus, which is if I draw myself a seed up for this here, I think it'll be a lot like this one.
How nice was it to finally see Fu in one of these qualifiers?
Don't care. Fu is the nice thing with Fu. If you happen to get one here, is that you know where you're going to stand in terms of agility for pretty much the entire seed. You don't have to worry about, exactly what you have and exactly what you need to try to find here if you want to try to manipulate that. So, not a big deal. If you happen upon a Fu, wish I could have seen, like a Cecil anchored hero at some point there, or even an Edge hero, because I don't think we saw. If we did see one here, I think it was just once, if at all. But with 13 qualifiers done here, everything kind of runs to a blur.
Just watching these credits, I had specifically asked Sheep, when your go mode is taking down the boss at the Baigan spot, is it worth fighting the Baron Throne to get out, or just walking out? And that was the alt gauntlet at Baron Throne.
Oh, all right, that worked out.
Yeah.
Did anyone find out what actually Wyvern blarged would have blarged with here? Because Wyvern really didn't get a chance to do anything.
Well, you are the only one that actually fought the Wyvern.
Yeah, at least on stream.
So everyone else went up Zod, I guess.
Well, Klopfer has Baron Key, but we think he forgot that it was a Sparkle at the beginning.
Yeah, look, I had a vague memory here that it was a Sparkle here, so I figured I'd do Baron first. Barring that, I was going to... The smart play would have been to do Twin Harp at that point here, given that I cleared Moon first, over ignoring, Dwarf Castle and all that here. But I'm hashtag never harp, so I would have done Earth Crystal. So I would have had my go mode eventually.
Yeah.
And what were your thoughts when you saw that Rydia in the bed? You took that Rydia without hesitation, like.
I figure, right, we've got a slingshot now, potential slingshot. So, keep her like, the scene's kind of going to a blur at that point here. So it's like, all right, I can keep her here. We could back up White Mage here if you have an Asura. Rydia I find actually fairly versatile in this flag set. Either here with an early Leviathan. There was one I didn't see one for purchase in the Fey March. I didn't end up buying it though because I figured, all right, I'm just going to see if I can slingshot her here, and then go from there.
So, seeing the character in the hook route, was it a cry of joy or a cry of anguish?
I was actually going through the hook route here, hoping to find an edge. Turned out edges elsewhere in the seed here, but it was like, oh, all right, there's the grind. I'm going to make use of the resources I have available to me here, and if Tella's there, and I had a soul drop along the way here, or at some point after that here. All right, so that makes the grind in theory a little bit more straightforward in terms of MP management. It is what it is.
It is funny, you were the only... All four of you did different grinds. You were the only one to do a D-Machine.
Well, I figured, I only saw the Edge ad package here. I didn't recall if they were seeing if there's an Edge of Dwarf or...
There was an Edge and Dwarf. Klopfer stole some Sirens. Pyre just went with the good old defeating moon bosses, and Mike chose to Mac Giant grind, actually.
Ooh, spicy.
And while we're at it, GG to Pyre, taking down Scalamus. 10th place, 144.23. Congratulations. I'm sure we'll have him in for an interview shortly. Ready for brackets, Harumph?
After this seat here, a little more ready. We'll see how it goes. I'm in, so that's the focus here. Make sure here that I didn't completely blow at this. And then we'll worry about, 2 drafts, me and where, and then we'll go from there. Now we have to worry about beating one racer at a time instead of X number. But we'll see how that goes here.
Well, if whoever your potential opponent was watching, they know how difficult an opponent you could be. So you look to have wrapped up your spot in the brackets. Nothing's official yet, but GG's and congratulations on your 7th place finish.
Thank you, and of course, thank you here to our team bringing this show together here tonight. Here, GG's here to all the racers who participated in the ZZ4. Such thanks tonight here to Cubs Ruler Chief Launcher on comms and on tracking, and Solaris for gifting me that wonderful seed.
GG, Sarup.
Thank you. Have a great night.
Yeah, Solaris had one job, no Tella start. And he did it quite well.
Pyre finished in 10th place with a time of 1:44.23, and he's joining us now. GG's Pyre.
GG.
So you came in 18th, looking for a spot in the top 16. What was your approach kind of heading into the seed, and how did that kind of modify with what the seed gave you, a really early Magma Key and Darkness Crystal?
I don't think it modified it too much. Typically, I just do what I think is best every seed, regardless of where I am in like rankings or anything.
Well, that's very, that's very a very good approach to take when you have when you're confident enough in your playing, and you have very good reason to be confident in your playing. Your moon clearing without a grind really was really good. Tell us about how you thought about that.
Well, I figured I could get most of the XP from the moon without slingshotting Rydia early. Probably faster to do the D machine slingshot, but I figured since I had decent amount of damage, Atella with all the spells I need, and a Rosa with Tiara, I could handle pretty much anything down there. Just a little slow, probably.
Yeah. Astro, I'm going to ask you as well. How was it to finally see a Fu in the seed in these qualifiers?
A Fu?
Burning Village Mist.
Oh, gotcha. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about what I was going to do for the Z fight.
It was funny. What you and Klopfer were actually pixels apart going into Burning Mist. It was uncanny how close you two were to both going in there at the exact same time.
Oh, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I'm looking at the restream now, and it looks like everybody was really close.
Yeah, it was a really close race for how open it seemed to be. Everybody seemed to follow kind of a similar route. But you kind of stood out for forging ahead without trying to stop by the giant first.
Yeah, I've been to the giant a lot, so there'll be plenty of time for that in the brackets.
You ready for brackets at this point? You looking forward?
I'm looking forward to it. I've got a lot of time to trim off my runs. I think I spend too much time messing about that I could probably cut out. So I'll probably try to do some of that at least before they start.
Well, with your position in your run so far, and with your very good run tonight, I think everybody's on notice that if there is time to trim, you don't have a lot of it.
Yeah, I think I do too much shopping and running about, and I really need to write down where things are so I don't have to go back and look for them.
Well, unless Cubs Rule has anything else for you, I just want to say congratulations on making it to brackets in all likelihood, and GG's.
All right, thank you. Yep. GG's. Unless Cub, you have anything, sorry.
Same for me. GG as well.
All right, thank you. Take care.
Klopfer came in 11th place at 1:45.11, and we are joined by Klopfer right now. Klopfer, GG's.
Hi, GG's, thanks. Whew. That was a fun seed. A lot of different things to check there.
It sure was, and you were the first to find Edge and to take advantage of Edge's sneak ability on stream. What were your thoughts when Edge turned up at Dwarf Castle?
Yeah, that one's actually interesting. I had seen the Rydia in the bed and had found that Tella, and my thought there was actually, oh great, I'll go back up, pick up Rydia, and slingshot her up to nuke. That'll be great. Actually, you know what? I'll check Dwarf Castle. Maybe I'll hit another mage to fill out my party. I can slingshot two of them at one go. And then Edge showed up. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Tella, you're out. We'll just go ahead and sneak our way to endgame power instead. Definitely kind of like that switch. Definitely made this seed a little more open. A lot of other seeds I have seen a little more kind of funneled you towards that D machine grind. So I kind of like the fact there was a little bit of different options here.
I'm curious. You stole 10 or 11 sirens, and ended up only using a couple. Were you planning on using some sirens earlier before hitting 10 key items, or you just waiting until you hit 10?
That was exactly the thought. Was to get a few more, but once I'd kind of seen actually kind of one of the things that triggered me to not go ahead and do a pre-grind before going to the moon was a collection of hourglasses I had picked up. I went, okay, look, I just go to the moon, see which bosses are there. If they're tough, I have these hourglasses, I can just do these gold dragons instead of doing the egg grind before I go up. All right, let's just go ahead and head up. And by that point, I'd already stolen the sirens. I'm like, I have way too many, but that's fine. Which I think all those hourglasses came out of the treasury, if I recall. So that's kind of where I switched my plans.
I hate to do this, but you were actually in go mode after you defeated the Dark Knight Cecil on the moon, but you went to the Luca Cave instead to find the package.
I was very much thinking that the knowledge that Baron Key was Wyvern.
Yes, Wyvern was in the Viking spot.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I literally, as I was kind of flying down back from the moon and going to turn in Demas, was thinking, all right, who have I seen at the Lunar Sparkles? And I couldn't place Ogo. I couldn't recall if I'd seen him, and if so, where. And that gave me enough hesitation to go, okay, I'll just go ahead and check Luca. I can peek the key item and the boss, and I don't actually have to do either of them. But then once I saw the package was there, I went, okay, well, this is a way to go mode, so let's just end this one. But yeah, it was definitely part of my thought process, and unfortunately, I wasn't using a boss tracker, so I just couldn't remember if I'd seen that Ogo anywhere.
Yeah, and that Ogo was in a very forgettable spot in the first spot of Baron Inn.
Yes, that's right. That fight did not last too long.
No, it did not.
You say that, I remember being really annoyed that he still big waved me. So, if only that had been annoying enough, I remembered being like, he was right there. But yeah, a short fight, so I just couldn't place it and didn't want to take the potential 50-50 if I was wrong on seeing Ogo. So definitely would have helped cut off a little bit of time there. Especially without the warp. That's a long walk out of that sealed cave.
Well, you seem to be ensconced firmly in the bracket stages. You were 24th entering tonight, and nothing's official. But what are your thoughts about the brackets? Anything in particular you're doing to prepare for them?
Definitely. The main thing I'm just doing is the nice thing with these rankings is I can really see who a lot of the strong runners are. And so I'm just kind of actually playing seeds they've done, and then going and watching some of these other runners, seeing their races, see where decisions are differing, and seeing where I can add that. And I've definitely seen a lot of kind of nice different early looting strategies that go on from different things I do, different ways to take on some bosses, especially Zeromus, and different ways to do that, depending especially on your agility anchoring, which gets a little interesting here on Sea Hero. So I'd say it's playing seeds and then going ahead and watching really good runners on those same seeds and see how they get through them.
Well, you're certainly included among those very good runners. So GG's again. And Cubs, if you have anything else?
No, congratulations. Congrats on surviving the qualifiers, and I think we're all kind of looking forward to brackets right now.
Oh, thanks a lot. I know I definitely am. It's going to be a lot of fun in those, a lot of good competition, and I'm looking forward to doing those races, as well as just a big thanks to everyone who's been putting on this tournament and all the other previous tournaments. I joined in a lot of them, and it's always been a ton of fun. So thanks a lot to everyone.
Thanks, Clapper, and GG's.
And while we were talking with Klopfer, Mike finished as well, taking down Skalamus, 22nd place. Final time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 58 seconds. GG, Mike. I believe we will be talking to him shortly. Speak of the devil, welcome in, Mike. Congratulations, GG.
Thank you.
Very different from the Pink Puff League, huh? This whole ZZ4 thing. Mike?
Check out.
Oh yes, that's quite different.
That was a some kind of setup for the Mac Giant grind. At one point, were you thinking you were just fully committed to it?
Best audio.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think mine
Sorry, I don't know.
as well.
You hear what I said about Wyvern?
No, did not. Go ahead and say it
Okay.
now.
Sorry about that. So it was a weird seed. I started out, Wyvern walked right up to me, handed me a magma key, and I never saw him again.
Well, unfortunately, he was locked behind that Murasame altar, which it's an entirely
DKC.
understandable decision, yeah, to just leave that one behind on the moon with so much else left to do on the Earth.
I'd already gotten so many key items off the moon, which was not haunted. That was nice.
It took 15 qualifiers. We finally got a required moon.
Yeah, it's a good way to wrap up the whole qualifying process. It's a fun seed, to be honest. I did a lot of things for the first time in a qualifier, like the Mac Giant grind, which I'm sure you have notes to talk about, and my first Battle Speed 1 fight.
It always is fun to get into Battle Speed 1. But the notes about the Mac Giant grind, you put yourself in a hole in it, but you pulled yourself out, which we were really impressed with. Our notes was just how long it took to set up. That was quite a journey to get to the Mac Giant grind itself.
How long was that, roughly? It felt like an eternity of eternities.
It took, what, 10, 15 minutes?
At
my
least
God.
15, I think. I remember seeing you there sometime around 27, 28 minutes, I believe. And it's just...
Wow, that's brutal.
It can just be so hard to get a right encounter seed to be able to even get a chance at the Mac Giant. That was, yeah.
I need to study the chart more too, because I did actually have one step that I could have done it, but it was one of the if statement steps. So I just thought, I'll get one here in the next.
Oh,
one.
the multiples, yeah.
Yep. How did the actual Mac Giant fight go? Did that look okay? I know it lasts forever, but did it feel like it was running smoothly? I haven't done one prior to this. I did one setup once to test it.
Except for the part that it almost wiped you, it looked fine. Yeah, it was very, very hairy there for a moment when it was down to one or two characters, but recovering from that was very well done.
Yeah, and we say all the time, it really measures how good you are at the game when you're able to find yourself in a hairy situation and be able to come back from it, and you certainly did that.
Thanks. Do you usually do Mac Giants at battle speed 1 or 3, like D machines? Did it at 3.
I tend to avoid Mac Giants, so I'm not qualified.
Yeah, and I did not qualify for brackets. Unlike it appears, you, Mike, you appear, and although nothing is official yet, it appears like you're firmly ensconced in the brackets. How are you looking forward to the bracket stages?
I'm gonna have to change everything up. Like, this was the first time I ever did qualifiers for a tournament, and now I have to totally change my mindset to 1v1 and kind of practice and kind of study strategy for that. The qualifiers went really good. They went exactly how I hoped. I did one restream Qualifier where I talked to his Oscar and Solaris maybe, and at that time I was hoping to finish up around a .87, which at the time would have put top 16, and I'm right below that. Of course, the goalpost shifted dramatically, and now it's like 37th. But still, that was kind of a goal I was shooting for, really optimistically, and that.
So how do you think your gameplay will change, shifting from this kind of mass qualifier event to 1v1?
Well, one thing I know is I'm going to have to pay very close attention to the key item chains I get and make sure that I follow a chain and don't just go down trying to get 10 key items and then grind and get and whatnot. I'll have to be cognizant that, you know, what do I think my opponent's doing? Having to follow chains through kind of as necessity, just because if you stop halfway, then you go and start something they've already done, basically. So things to that nature. And of course, cleaning up gameplay further. Like earlier today in a qualifier, I got 17th place. I had like an 11-minute Z fight. I played around with the Z fight. After playing around with it, finished it in 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and a battle speed 1. Why I didn't exactly have a clean Z fight this time, it's still feeling more comfortable with BS1, I think is going to help quite a bit.
Well, congratulations on surviving brackets, or excuse me, entering brackets, surviving the qualifiers. I think we're all very much looking forward to see not just yourself, but all four of our runners, how deep a run all four of you can make.
Yeah, and I believe Cubs is another pink puff who is looking like will likely be in brackets, so hopefully we can make some noise.
Wait, I play this game? What?
Yeah, as our restreamer Solaris pointing out, so many pink puffs have done so well in the ZZ4 qualifiers. It's really great to see. So congratulations, Mike, and congratulations to all the pink puffs who have tried out for ZZ4 and who have made the bracket stages.
Yeah, great job, Puffs.
Any final thoughts on the seed, Mike, before we let you go?
Just briefly, I don't know if you noticed that I faded Sheila 1 for like 40 minutes after talking to her. That was a mistake in routing. And also I got turned into a frog once, very early. That was in... no, other than that, is fun, non-haunted moon seed. I guess I could have taken edge. That might have made life easier with the Mac Giant grind. But I was okay with the decision. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, it was a very defensible decision. It was a little bit slower than some of the other grinds available to you, but you did it well, and you finished with a really good time. So once again, it looks like you're ensconced in brackets, so GG's on that, and GG's on this finish in particular.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the tournament.
And with that, we're done. Tournament's over, right? We can all go home. What? Oh wait.
No.
Oh,
no.
That's right. There's a bracket round. Yes.
Yes. The top 64 get to go to the brackets, and in fact, the top 16 get to choose who their opponents are and who and get to set up the rest of the bracket. The bracket selection show will be coming on Monday to this particular channel. A time is yet to be determined, but it's going to happen.
So the rest of us, not in that top 16, are just volunteering as tribute for those who are, correct?
I don't think so at all. If one thing the qualifiers have taught us, it's that any person in in this community can beat any other person on any given day. It's going to be really exciting. The top 16 are going to have to really choose their poison carefully.
Well, for the final time, our top 6 tonight: Coffee and Chocobos, Woo Bear, Possum Morpheus, Microcorgs, Decker Smash, and Direwolf. They will be setting the top 6 score, that the scores for everyone else to be set for tonight, and we will find out soon who's in that top 64.
Yes, and the top 16 get to choose their opponents. I don't envy them, honestly,
No.
because because there are no easy outs here. The top 64 from who is eligible to and who is knocking on the door. There are some really good runners all up and down. The top 16 really have their work cut out for them to really choose their opponents. So this is going to be a really fun bracket.
Yeah. Well, any final thoughts, Sheep? I think we're getting to that point.
Yeah, no, this was a ton of fun. Thank you so much to our restreamer Solaris, our tracker Antidale, for doing a terrific job with just an onslaught of key items coming from all directions. Thank you, Cubs Rule 21, for the knowledgeable commentary. What we're going to do now is go over to Possum Morpheus. He's doing some ZZ4 practice, so we're going to give him some love. But Cubs Rule, it was so much fun being with you, and can't wait to see you for brackets.
Same, Sheep. Very much looking forward to hopefully playing in brackets, but also more volunteering. Please give my co-commentator Sheep Launcher a follow if you haven't already. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us, and for the final time in qualifiers. Thank you all. Everyone stay safe and have a good night.
So long.